Hey guys, we just recently installed a double 3/4 subfloor over a concrete floor with a complete thermal break and vapor barrier, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to show you how we did it and talk a little bit about building science. Mike Kopp, a remodeling contractor and friend of ours, asked us to help him out on a large garage that he was converting over to kind of a studio apartment. And the garage was previously framed years ago. It had 2x4 walls, truss roof system, and had an existing concrete subfloor uninsulated. The trusses, to us, meant that we did not have any bearing walls in the structure to deal with, and that meant that we could cover the entire floor with no interruptions, no seams, things like that, perimeter to perimeter with insulating foam. So we all agreed that this continuous foam board approach would be faster than, say, installing the old pressure-treated sleeper method that, would have to cut the foam in between and then spray foam in between the foam and, so on and so forth. It's just time-consuming. So our floating floor overview, the plan was basically this. Mike's plan called for uninterrupted layer of 2-inch Owens Corning extruded polystyrene XPS foam boards. And we put those directly over the concrete slab with the seams taped. This would follow with 2 layers of 3/4 inch Advantech subflooring floating, not fastened, on top of the foam. The foam, additionally, allows us to achieve that thermal break I was talking about and obtain an R10 insulating value over the concrete slab. Now, creating a thermal break and vapor barrier, in ideal situations, the floor under the slab would have been insulated with rigid insulation, such as an XPS extruded polystyrene board. And that board is used because it's got a high compressive strength. Utilizing SPS boards beneath the slab enables the concrete to kind of retain some of its heat effectively. Our primary objective in covering the concrete floor with XPS is twofold: establish a thermal break, but implement a continuous vapor barrier. Now, thermal breaks are essential for maintaining heat retention within concrete slabs, within the building. Their advantages include heightened energy efficiency, enhanced comfort, and prevention of condensation. The absence of XPS board could result in cold air meeting warm, potentially leading to maybe condensation on the walls of the floor, mold growth, other issues, warping floors, stuff like that. All right, let's talk about how we installed these foam boards. We used Owens Corning Formular 400 extruded polystyrene XPS insulation boards, 40 PSI. And that's designed for load-bearing situations. And think under slabs, concrete floors, foundations, parking decks, cold storage installations, stuff like that. We installed the 2-inch insulation boards on our concrete floor without any glue, and the boards they install quickly, just piecing them together. And they cut easily with a table saw or a knife, or we just lay them flat on the clean, vacuumed floor. Once the foam boards were fitted on the floor, we sealed all of our seams with 3M 8067 all-weather flashing tape. And we sealed the perimeter seams at the concrete walls and any utility pipe penetrations with expanding foam. The 3M tape, it's a self-adhering waterproof flashing membrane. It's designed for seaming damp surfaces such as polyethylene vapor barrier products, building materials. It seals around openings, windows, penetrations on exterior walls and stuff like that. I like it because it has unique acrylic pressure-sensitive adhesive that aggressively sticks and stays stuck both at high and low temperatures. So it was good for our floor. I will note that after installing our XPS floor, though, the room was noticeably warmer for us working in there. We also covered the foundation walls that were exposed with 2 inches of XPS 25 PSI foam board, and we used the 25 PSI for cost savings. Let's talk about the subfloor. We then moved on and installed 2 layers of 3/4 inch Advantech subfloor sheathing. The first layer of subflooring was installed perpendicular to the foam boards, taking care to stagger our 3/4 Advantech and foam joint seams. We staggered our seams. We installed the tongue and groove plywood, and then we made sure we ensured an 1/8 inch expansion gap on our butt ends of our plywood. Type-on subfloor adhesive was used to glue the first layer of plywood to the foam board. And then, also we used the 28-ounce tubes of glue, and we got about 2 sheets per tube, so that's good to know. And I absolutely recommend that you use a cordless caulking gun to assist the speed of process, but also your forearm and grip strength. Now, when we got to the second layer of plywood, that was installed perpendicular to the first layer. So we're alternating layers, staggering our joints, maintaining our 1/8 inch gap between subfloor sheets. We glued and screwed the second layer of plywood to the first layer of Advantech plywood with 1 3/4 inch screws every 6 inches. That was to eliminate squeaks between the boards. After the subfloor system was installed, we installed our partition walls and attached them directly to the subfloor with screws. Piece of cake. We didn't have any bearing walls that we needed point load. So to conclude, the result was a strong and stiff subfloor without having to install sleepers that might loosen or squeak or twist over time. And look, the big win though for Mike on his job and us as carpenters was achieving a thermal break, continuous thermal break, R10 insulation, and a continuous vapor barrier. It was a win. It's a great way to approach this kind of situation, and I recommend it. I'm Rob Robillard. We'll see you next time. Take care.